Here are two huge reasons why leg raise exercises actually make hip arthritis worse. This is a common exercise given by healthcare professionals to hip arthritis patients and people with any kind of hip problems in order to help their hip problems. But it actually can make hip arthritis worse. In fact, whenever I have a patient here in my clinic or that we help online tell me that they're doing leg raise exercises, I order them to stop immediately because of these two huge reasons. Now there's different versions of this exercise, but the most common one looks just like this. You're lying on your back and you're raising your leg up and down here, just like this, repeatedly with the intent to work out the muscles on the front of the hip. Now there's other versions like where you're lying on your side and you're picking up your leg this way. And there's even a version where you're working out this leg by bending this top leg and then picking this up this way. Sometimes they go in front this way. Then you're picking up the leg this way, raising the leg this way. And then there's a standing version too, where you're just standing, holding onto something, then moving your leg outwards or frontwards like this. All of these are leg raise exercises that I tell people to stop doing. And here are the reasons why. Number one is you have to understand the muscle imbalance, which is the cause of hip osteoarthritis. This is what most healthcare professionals aren't trained in, so they don't see hip arthritis this way. The muscle imbalance that causes hip arthritis is this. If this is the ball and socket joint and you're looking at the front right here, there's hip flexor muscles on the front of the hip. They're right here on your body. And then on the back side of the hip, you have the glute muscles or the butt muscles. They're right here on the body. People typically have an imbalance between the two where the hip flexors are more dominant or more strong than the glute muscles. This causes there to be a pull forward because of those stronger muscles in the front of the hip of the ball onto the socket, and so it rubs the front edge of the bones at the joint a lot, and that's what sets up the hip arthritis. So if you're doing these leg raise exercises, which are focused on strengthening your hip flexors, then you're actually feeding into the problem. You're actually going to be adding more compressive forces to that hip joint in the way that it's already becoming injured. So that's why I tell people to stop doing this exercise immediately, because they're just going to be working against themselves to solve the hip arthritis problem and avoid a hip replacement surgery. In fact, if you wanted to speed your way into a hip replacement surgery and just aggravate your hip, then go do this exercise because it's just going to make the imbalance worse. The second reason is because of the compressive forces at the ball and socket joints. When you go lift your leg like that, of course the muscles are being used, but also at the joint surfaces, the ball is moving like this on the socket. It rolls forward and glides backwards like this. It's doing this repeated motion like that, which is rubbing the front of the ball on the front side of the socket. That's where people tend to get the most arthritis symptoms, the most arthritic changes in the joint. And so if you're repeatedly doing that with compressive forces because you're getting that muscle stronger, you're just irritating the injury more. It's as if you had a cut on your skin. It's the same as if you had a cut on your skin and you just rub it and keep it injured. It's never going to heal. In fact, you're just going to make it worse over time and perpetuate the problem. Now, in a healthy hip joint, your body should be able to tolerate this, and theoretically, you shouldn't have the muscle imbalance. So then it would be okay for you to do this exercise. But the fact is, most people are doing this exercise because they have a hip problem, so it shouldn't be done. So why do healthcare professionals give this exercise to their patients? Well, you need to understand something. Most doctors, surgeons, and physical therapists that might give this exercise to you are not specialists in helping somebody avoid a hip replacement surgery. Doctors are specialists in medicine. Surgeons do surgery. That's what they went to school for. And physical therapists, yeah, they're exercise specialists, but the majority of physical therapists, the vast majority, are helping people after they've had surgery. And so doing this exercise for somebody who's recovering from a hip replacement surgery, for instance, might be appropriate at a certain time. But if you're going to a physical therapist in hopes of avoiding a hip replacement surgery, then this is not one you should be doing. And it isn't that therapist's fault necessarily. They're trying to do the best for you. They really have good intents and they want to help you with what they know. It's just that they're not seeing patients that are looking to avoid surgery on a consistent basis. They're seeing the people that have just had surgery, and that's what they do all day. So that's what they specialize in. The way that healthcare professionals approach exercise for a hip problem is to just exercise all the muscles around the hip joint exhaustively because the assumption is that there's weakness all around and they're not paying attention to specific muscles and imbalances like I'm talking about here. So that's why they'll give you 4 ways of leg raises to do at home. They'll give you an exercise sheet that has you standing and you move your leg outwards, inwards, forwards, backwards, or you lay on your side and roll around as you pick your leg up against gravity. That's why they're giving you this exercise. They're just trying to be comprehensive by exercising every muscle that the hip joint has around it. But of course, they're inadvertently leading you to exercise right into the problem, and that's why I don't recommend leg raises if you have hip arthritis. Now, what should you do? Well, I talk at length about it on this channel, about what exactly you should be doing, about the muscle imbalance. I discuss the way that I look at hip arthritis, and I think you can get tons of value by looking at our playlist of hip arthritis videos. I've linked that playlist for you down in the description below. If you hit the see more button on there, you'll see our description pop out, and in there will be a link to our hip arthritis playlist. Now you can also find down there in the description our hip arthritis recovery program. I've put my treatment approach that I use to help patients avoid having a hip replacement surgery and get back to feeling healthy, active, and mobile again, all in this program. It's over 30 videos that walks you through step by step what to do, no matter how severe it is, how long it's been there. Even if you've had a bone-on-bone hip diagnosis, this program can benefit you. You can learn more about that program through that link down in the description below for the hip arthritis recovery program. Hey, if this video was helpful for you, please give us a thumbs up. Please share this with somebody you think needs to see this, somebody who's doing these leg lifts. I'm not shy. If you want to share this with your healthcare professional that's helping you out to let them know, do so. They need to hear this and learn about this as well. And please subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell if you haven't yet so that you don't miss out on any of our videos. And don't forget to drop a comment. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know if leg raises have hurt you in the past. And just say hi. Say something to us. We love getting back to our comments. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.